Right, as we get ready for Election Day now, we need everyone to make sure that they know how to vote if they didn't vote early. We have Dallas County Elections Administrator Paul Adams in studio with us today to help make sure that your vote is cast and counted correctly. Thanks so much for taking some time out for us today. I know this is kind of your busiest time, so we really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about this. For people who are new, and we know that a lot of people have moved, here to North Texas in the last year or so, who may be, registered to vote but don't have that card yet. How do they go about this tomorrow? Because you've got to actually go to your precinct if you didn't vote early.
That is correct. So this election, unlike the past handful where everybody goes to a vote center and can vote any place in the county, as they did for early vote, on Election Day, because there was not a joint contract between the Democrats and Republicans, that forces us back to precinct-based voting. So Democrats and Republicans those political parties chose their polling locations. So there are places in the county where a polling place may just be for Democrats or may just be for Republicans, some that are for both. So we're encouraging people to go to our website or call the office. They can find out that information of which location it is that they need to show up to on Election Day to cast their ballot.
Because basically you just punch in your address and it lets you know where to go. Can you give us the website just for people who didn't vote early, who don't know where they're supposed to go tomorrow?
So that's DallasCountyVotes.org. If you go to that website, you should be able to look up your information properly. There's a red bar right at the top, and you can go to that and you can look up your information. You can also call our office as well.
And again, that's if you're voting in Dallas and you didn't get it done early. That's one of the big advantages of being able to go early vote, is that you can choose any of those locations. But again, if you waited till tomorrow, you've got to go to your specific precinct there. So what do I do if I'm a voter? And I've heard this from a couple of people who registered, but they didn't get their card back yet. And they go, oh, am I going to have to do a provisional ballot, whatever? And I go, just go vote, show them your ID. They know what to do. What do you tell people?
That's correct. There are all different types of forms of identification that are acceptable. Having your driver's license, state ID, those forms of identification would be perfectly fine. You don't necessarily have to have that card with you.
Let's talk about, I think that we've got some live pictures of the counting process that's underway in Dallas and Tarrant counties right now. And you see those there on your screen. Basically, this is all of the early vote that pours in. That all has to be counted before we get to Election Day, because you're going to have plenty to do come Election Day. And that's why when the polls close there at 7 p.m., we're immediately able to do that huge vote dump from what happened in early voting. And it gives us such an idea of what's happening in all of these different races. I'm just curious how you all are doing with that this year, because we have seen a pretty big turnout for a primary election here in Texas. Democrats have been turning out in really big numbers, but we've seen some big Republican numbers as well. This is an interesting year.
Yeah, we've seen now over 250,000
just
voters.
In Dallas County.
Just in Dallas County, 250,000 voters have already cast their ballots in this election. We're looking for a potentially historic turnout that's going to happen on tomorrow when we put all of these numbers together. But it definitely is creating a lot more work for us. But I always tell people, I want people to vote, and I want you to give me more work to do. So please get out and vote, whether you already had for early vote or whether that's going to be tomorrow under that precinct-based system.
Yeah, we would hope to overwork you guys every time around because people should be making their voices heard. And again, we're seeing big numbers this time around. My last question for you is just going into tomorrow. Is there anything that you think people should know that we haven't already talked about, or are there any concerns that you have going into tomorrow?
So I would encourage all voters to do a little bit of research before you go to the polls. The ballot is incredibly long for both political parties. It's going to take a long time to vote that ballot. So the more research you do before you get to the polls, the better you're going to be.
Yeah, nobody wants you to be taking up one of those little booths forever, making your selections. So do your homework ahead of time. And you cannot use your phone when you are in there, and they are adamant about that. So have your research, have your notes or whatever, but your phone is not going to be handy for you at that time. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time with us. Again, I know it's a really busy time of the year for you all. Really appreciate the info.
Thanks for having me.